Good evening, folks, and welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series. It is the Paradigm Duels live from virtual Daytona International Speedway, and it's good Grid Vision team up here bringing you the show. Joe LaCastro here, yours truly, with Sheldon Adkins and Austin Derbyshire. He's in the truck, pulling the levers, pushing the buttons, and together, the three of us are making it happen. Down, down, down into Daytona International Speedway goes the Google Earth satellite camera, and here we come yet again to a beautiful evening. This time the sun has gone down a little bit. It looks like Daytona is going to be ready for some nighttime racing, and oh boy, it's going to be a fun, different sort of thing for me. It'd be the first time I've called a duels race, so let's have some fun tonight. Sheldon, you pumped for some duels, my man?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The twin 125s here from Daytona going to set the starting grid for the OB Builders Cup Series equivalent to the Daytona 500 next week. And so basically, for those at home wondering how this works, so the first round of this that we're going to watch is going to be setting the inside row outside of the pole sitter. Second round is going to be the outside row outside of the guy that starts in second place on Sunday. Wow, I'm really getting whether you hear it on next Thursday. So it's pretty cool. I mean, they've been doing this at Daytona for what feels like 100 years at this point, and we get to see it happen here. And this is my first opportunity covering duels as well.
All right. Well, it's going to be 30 laps per duel, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty exciting, my man. I mean, once we do qualifying finishes, we're going to see a race of only the odd-numbered cars, and then we're going to see a race of only the even-numbered cars. And so then by the time we get to Daytona next week, we're going to have so much anticipation built up after seeing these little mini rivalries get built and seeing who can handle who on the track right now tonight. I am super pumped to see how these are going to play out over the course of the evening. And we've got a great list of drivers here, a bunch of drivers back from last year, some people who are new. I think for sure it's going to be hard for me to keep up with that, but folks, keep me honest. If you're one of the newer drivers, pipe in and say hi. It's nice to have you.
Well, what's great about this too, and what makes it great in real life as well, is this is a great dress rehearsal for these guys to figure out what they have with the car. They got a week to make changes after tonight. If you've noticed that the car wasn't all that good in the draft, or you're having a little bit of a handling issue, something was fading a little bit too quick, you have the opportunity after this race to take all that data, all that telemetry that you've logged, all those laps that you ran here in the duel to figure out exactly what you need to make that car right come the big show.
Got it. Well, here's the starting grid for the first race here. Let's break it down. The Tate Crosby Racing Pole Award goes to Paul Gallimore right now, with Shane Davis in the second spot here. Brandon Pasalacqua in third, with Jordan Slater in fourth. Justin Levine in fifth, with Chris Davis in sixth. Paul Hill in seventh, with PB Henry in eighth. Rich Kleinman in ninth, and Randy Mullins in 10th.
Starting 11th place is going to be John Bender with William Denny in the 82 machine on the outside. 12th going to go to Patrick Gitter with Kevin Zosiak in 13th. 14th place is going to be the 5 machine of Matt DiCiani with Chris Vinson to the outside. All right, then it's going to be Evan Say with Russell Black in the 44 machine. Next one is going to be Shane Clore with Louis Becerra to the outside. And rounding out the top 20 here is going to be Joshua Hyatt from Kannapolis, North Carolina, and Bryce Rayner in the 22 machine.
Moving right on, Nicholas Isaacs in 21st, with Greg Carr in 22nd. And I think that's good. 21 car field there. Now remember, this is going to be half the overall number of qualifying cars, because the way that it actually breaks down is every other car. So what we did there, we read the grid from top to bottom for qualifying order, but every other person right now is going to be involved in this race, starting with the first place of Paul Gallimore and then Brendan Pasalacqua. So it should be Gallimore and Pasalacqua right now leading things off here on this grid. Yep, and then for the next grid, it's going to be Shane Davis and Jordan Slater on top of the grid. So for this one, we got Paul Gallimore and Brendan Pasalacqua kicking things off, with Justin Levine and Paul Hill right behind.
It's going to be real fun, too, to see how this works out. We see a lot of return customers up here at the front of the field, but we also see a lot of new faces here in the OB Builders Cup Series grid. And these guys put together some great races last year, some real exciting moments. I'm stoked to be back up here to cover more.
Yes, sir. It's good to be back. Great to be back here on Thursday nights here. And folks, if it's your first time joining us, thanks for joining us. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Show us a little love if you appreciate the product. We got a lot more good stuff coming your way. Brand new branding updates. Some beautiful stuff coming up here on Grid Vision, starting as soon as next week with some of the things that you guys are going to get a chance to see. Be sure to go to gridvision.live if you're a driver and upload your information to gridvision.live, your picture and your bio, and we'll get all that information up here and we'll start putting it into our broadcasts, and we'll bring your drive to life here with gridvision.live. I'm really excited to see once all that stuff kicks in. Darby's doing a fantastic job, folks, and you guys are really going to be able to see that very soon.
Oh yeah, no, everything is about to change here for Grid Vision. It's going to be so much. It's just going to be so exciting to have some of the new tools here. And as Darby said, from what I've seen here, he's not wrong in saying this. We are changing sim racing, at least sim racing commentary.
That's right.
So
Yep, up in the game.
So now it's up to Joe and I to not drop the ball like I just did with that little announcement right there. You know, I'm always the worst about building hype
God.
unless it's on track. I sometimes do that well, or I just scream and make random noises, which also seems to work.
Yeah. That hit a little close to home. To the making random noises part. And let's see what we've got. So let's look at the way that this starting grid breaks down. Paul Gallimore, I've heard that name before. Pasalacqua. I'm trying to look for names I don't recognize or haven't seen before here on this list here.
Oh, there's a handful. First one that I'm seeing on the grid here is going to, honestly, I'm sitting here looking at a lot of them, and Thomas J. George and Paul Whitley are the first two that I see on here that we haven't covered in the OB Builders Cup Series. Two rookie drivers, if you will, here for the series.
Yeah, yep. Daniel Wiles is a name I haven't heard or seen before.
I don't think that Jose Medina ran in here last year. I know we've covered him a lot. Okay, Jose did run last year.
Yeah,
but
with OB.
Honestly, in this heat, I'd say the first two would be Thomas George and we did cover Daniel Wiles last year.
Okay.
Yeah, Wiles made it in mid-season. George and Whitley.
Well, it's good to see things mix up here. Aha, we have some action here. Gallimore rolling off the line, following the pace car and getting things ready to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Oh, we got Roger Pierce in the chat. Good to see ya.
Yeah, Roger Pierce.
Builders Cup this series. Oh, go on.
Unfortunately, not making the comeback, as you were saying there. And honestly, I think it's a shame, man. I'd love to see what Roger be doing out here on the track tonight. Always makes these super speedways pretty exciting when you got him around. We'll
get up in the booth a couple times, though. We'll get him up here calling because he's got some insight that is truly, truly incredible. And having that kind of balance up here in the booth for, my brain versus your steel trap brain versus his steel trap brain, it's always nice to have a little bit more weight behind the punches here, so to speak.
Yeah, Roger, definitely a great wealth of knowledge and also an incredible friend to the channel. Helped us out last minute this last week with the 24 beers at Daytona. I had a couple family commitments come up, and he did a great job substituting for me all afternoon and evening.
Absolutely. And right now, we're getting things ready to go here at Daytona, folks. Be sure to get those beers cracked if you're having one at home, or a glass of water if you're not drinking. Some popcorn would be appropriate. Any way you slice it, get ready because we are about to get going. That pace truck is heading around. He's finished through 3 and 4. Paul Gallimore and Brandon Pasalacqua getting ready to go here in just a moment here on the OB Builders Cup Duels. There goes the pace car. He's off. Pace truck's out the way. Here comes the start zone. And we are go on Grid Vision.
Lap one, first guy to duck out and try something else. Justin Levine in that yellow whatnot Toyota Camry, trying to make moves happen earlier. Right now, though, Brandon Pasalacqua has cycled himself up to the lead, has a bunch of help from behind by the 26 machine of Paul Hill, and Paul Gallimore now coming up to the outside line to pick up Justin Levine.
He's trying stripes on Gallimore's car, giving him that little bit of an edge as he tries to use the top line to get ahead. He started the top line, came back down inside, back up to the outside. I think he just really wants momentum wherever he can get it. Right now he is side by side with a 26 of Paul Hill, using whatever speed he can get from the car behind him, and that car is Justin Levine. So with Levine behind him, he's in pretty good shape. As we can see right now, they're pushing across through the center here, through the tri-oval, now side by side with Pasalacqua, and at the line, it's going to be Gallimore leading the race.
Yep, Gallimore leading us through to lap 3 here. A lot of help from the 19 machine of Justin Levine, and they're pulling the 23 of John Bender, who's coming back here to make a return season this year as well. And I'm liking what I'm seeing already, that outside line looking racy. You know, last year it didn't really feel like we had that option here on the super speedways. A couple changes in the new build, definitely seeming like it's making these super speedways racy like they need to be again. As you see Justin Levine now duck back down to the bottom in front of Paul Gallimore, trying to hold off the inside lane. And don't be surprised if you see that 19 machine trying to block 2 lanes for the rest of the night.
Yeah, he immediately moved down as soon as, Gallimore slid back, and then he was about to get a push there out of the 6. And Levine said, nah, I'm going to limit that bounce back effect that you might have here. And I'm going to just touch base with you real quick. But it looks like Levine might have timed that just a little bit wrong, as now the inside line is running a train on the outside here, pushing right past them. Paul Hill makes the pass, and now the 4 cars are out ahead. Here comes the 7 of Rich Kleinman. Can he make it past? He does. Levine is now in 5th. Can't hold on to it. 6th is coming as the 5 car of Matt DeCiani is also trying to make a pass.
Yeah, right now looks like maybe the 23 machine of Bender didn't want to be that aggressive on the rear bumper so early. Cracking off throttle a little bit here, and it's kind of stalling out that top line. You really need that second car up top to pretty much push the back bumper off. And Justin right now signaling over the radio that he does want Bender to push him, but Bender other plans here at the moment.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Here it comes.
It's a perfect example. Levine back on the radio for that one, but Bender said, no. So instead it's going to be Shane Clore moving up, and Clore will give the bumper to Levine and try to get that 19 a little bit faster and get the whole top line a little bit faster here if he can.
Levine up to the back bumper now, the 5 machine of DeCiani. I'm trying to push the rear bumper off on him here. DeCiani looking forward to, I wouldn't say last year was a bad year for DeCiani, but maybe not exactly what he was hoping for. Came real close to win at Martinsville, didn't work out. And maybe trying to start this new season off here with a bang with maybe a win at Daytona. As you see now, Paul Hill and the 26 machine coming up at the top. And now a huge block up at the front of the pack from Gallimore. And a massive checkup for the outside lane, but they make it work.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, what was he eating in the offseason? What was his pre-workout? He is insane right now.
Yeah, Gallimore doing a really good job here. And here comes Levine cutting under here into the tri-oval, trying to make the inside lane work now.
But will he get help down there? He's got a car length
look at
right
the run
now.
Clore had. Shane Clore caught to the back bumper of the 5 machine of DeCiani. Looked like he was in a different gear.
There's a lot of activity up here at the front. A lot of switching lanes here as cars trying to figure out where they want to sit. Paul Gallimore on the outside line, leading things. Just a little bit ahead of Shane Clore.
Clore backing down a little bit here. Maybe a little bit of an overheating problem for the 72 machine already. Doesn't take long when you start tandem drafting here at Daytona for that engine temp to really start overcooking itself. See him back it down the corner now, build a huge run on the front straightaway, trying to push him. Here comes Levine pulling a side draft off the 11 machine, trying to break those 2 up, and it slows him down enough.
And speaking of getting air in front of the
And
car,
here
there
he
goes
comes.
Levine.
You want to keep your eye on that.
Anymore.
Look, I know it sounds like I'm homing in on a friend, but you just want to keep your eyes on that 19 machine, because he is, on these super speedways, he is all over the place, and he's going to fight every second of every lap. But Paul Hill currently a race leader, getting a bunch of help from that 5 Chevrolet of Matt DeCiani. Paul Hill, another really talented driver here in the OB Builders Cup Series. Really excited to see what he's able to do in the Dent Slayer Camry.
That's right. That's right. And DeCiani is really tucked in tight right now. He has not been able to get a lot of air into that car over the course of the last 2 or 3 laps. I've only noticed a few times that he's had a few gaps in there, and so I'm kind of wondering if that temperature is going to become an issue there for Matt DeCiani, almost more than anybody right now on the track. But if you look at other people who are pulling it very close, Shane Clore is tucked right up in with Paul Hill and trying to with Gallimore, excuse me, and just trying to give Gallimore an absolute, just give him some more dominance on the top row. So far, Gallimore can't quite seal the deal in terms of getting that extra distance to get ahead of the bottom row, and more often than not, it looks like he's just getting the work on.
See Levine ducked back down to the bottom there. Blink and you'll miss it. Now the inside lane forming a train, pulling away from that top line. One thing that I'm liking right now, everybody knows it's a qualifying race. It doesn't mean anything aside from where you're going to start for the big show next Thursday. But everybody's really getting knuckles out here. The gloves are coming off pretty early.
They are, yeah. A lot of lane switching. Now we've kept this too wide situation for a long time here. Now, obviously, up at the front, the lead, like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The lead 7 cars are in a single file line, but everything from that on is too wide. And we've kept that, and with constant lane switching, with constant, bobbing for position since the race has started. There has been no clearly dominant driver. Maybe Justin Levine out here at the front right now, who's led a pretty good number of laps, but that's only been relatively recently. There's been a lot of switching around of power players right around the middle of the pack and toward the front.
One thing that I've noticed so far is we got a lot of strong cars in the field right now, but the big thing is it's strength as well as confidence. You need a driver, you need a car that you got both of those happening at the same time if you really want to win here at Daytona. And I'm noticing 3 guys right now especially that have that, and it's going to be Justin Levine, that 19 car up front, that's obvious. Paul Hill in the 26, and that 11 machine of Paul Gallimore. They seem that they just can put that car wherever they want and trust it'll work, trust the process, and it works out for them. And I think those are, out of this first stint here, this first heat, I think those are the guys you're really going to be paying attention to come next week.
All right. I like that. I like that we're already getting some names for our list for next week, some people to look out for based on just how we're seeing the drives tonight, especially.
Outside line kind of struggling a little bit. The bottom is really starting to make quick work of them here. Gallimore hasn't made much progress here.
They're not making progress. Yeah, they've been sitting back there. They are sort of crawling their way back up now, side by side with 5th instead of with 6th or 7th. So there is a progress being made as Gallimore continues to crawl his way forward, actually, as we talk.
You have to say, though, as far as a pusher goes, I really like what I've seen out of that 72 machine of Shane Clore so far tonight. He's been real aggressive using that front bumper, and it's been working out. As you see him now pushing that 11 machine of Paul Gallimore closer to your lead. They're going to have a huge run down this back straightaway.
Clore's been great. Oh, Levine with the big block to Gallimore, and Clore says, nah, I'm going to get a slice of that. If you're going to get anywhere near the front, I am going to take that momentum away from you. And then Paul Hill says, okay, well, then if you're going to leave that spot wide open, I will make this a 2-car race here.
I'll tell you what, there's probably not a person in the field right now with a bigger grin on his face than Justin up here at the front of the pack. He loves doing this stuff. It may make everybody else in the field completely pedo, but one thing I like doing is controlling every lane.
He is controlling them all right now. It does feel a little bit like Justin Levine's calling the shots right now in terms of the pace here at Daytona. There we go, back down.
It's like watching, with him, it's like watching Kiki or Brad Keselowski or Dale Jr. at these plate tracks. He just always finds a way to make it work. But here comes that 11 machine of Paul Gallimore, and he's not going to make it easy as he pulls a huge side draft here through 3 and 4, trying to get closer. Just needs the help of Shane Clore. A little bit off center. They're coming out of turn 4 for Levine. That's going to hurt the momentum. Here comes Clore back to the rear bumper. The 11 machine of Gallimore to cross the stripe that time. It's going to be Paul Gallimore with the lead as we come to halfway.
That's what's going to matter at the end, is what's going to matter for sure. And the push is all happening at the top as Paul Hill is just not Well, he wasn't pushing quite as hard as Clore. Now, obviously, on the outside, they're going to need a little bit more speed on the turn to try to make that work for them. Back to the stretch, though.
Big check up in the middle of the pack there. Patrick Gitter and Adam Benefield almost ran a little bit of issue with the 7 machine. Everybody keeping it in the right direction. That could have been dicey. I hear somebody Paul Hill has blown a motor in front of the field.
Motor? That's a blown motor.
Oh, no.
It's got to be.
And that's going to kill the inside lane. Here comes Gallimore now down to the bottom. Shane Clore going to try and take away the lead as he pulls a heavy side drive off the 11, and the 11 now hung out to dry. He's going to fall all the way back about 3 or 4 spots here before he finally gets to gather back up. Assuming he doesn't get hung out again by this second pack. 24 machine looking high. Here comes Benefield down. Patrick Gitter getting shoved 3 wide down the middle there. Almost choked over my tongue. And now DeCiani coming back up the top to try and help Levine pick up the scraps.
Up through the middle comes the 39, the 99 as well. The 99 car trying his best to make his way right up through the middle. That's George, Thomas George. Wow, what a mix-up here. Massive shove on the top line, though. Levine leading things now with Matt DeCiani and Adam Benefield right behind. What a huge, huge mix-up after that blown engine of Paul Hill.
And such a tough break for Paul Hill. I mean, I can't think of anybody that has worse luck here on iRacing. Such a talented driver, so crafty, so smart. But it just seems like if there's one thing that could go wrong, it always happens to find Paul.
We heard it, you heard it, folks. The crash of that engine in the end of the night for Paul Hill as he fell out of line. And massive kudos to these drivers, though. Everybody managed to keep it on the track. Everybody managed to keep it straight. It was something that, now we're still racing. It would have been nice to see things we see in the chat. Would have been nice to see things check up. Here's Hill now.
You hear what sounds like a wrench getting dropped out of it, and that's just the motor popping. And once that happens, there's nothing you can do about it. You just take the thing behind the wall, call it a night. And one guy making a move up here at the front, though, Patrick Gitter, ducking out of line, decides he's tired of the bottom, wants to lead the outside lane. Here comes the 83 machine of Benefield. And I wonder if DeCiani's going to come with. No, DeCiani can't, but Levine comes up, throws a block on the 83 of Benefield as we come into 3.
Benefield had the moves there. He was really pushing that top line, but Levine's not going to let that happen. If he sees you on your way, he is going to make the dive. Now let's see if he jumps back down to the inside, where DeCiani is currently leading things. Nope, he's going to stay where the momentum's at. I was wrong. He goes down, but he brings Benefield with him.
These Team Conti cars sticking together here up at the front. Benefield ducks down back on the bottom lane with Levine. And this right here, this could be a very good partnership between these two. And now DeCiani goes up to the top, getting a little bit of help from his teammate in Patrick Gitter.
And we've got a couple of Team Conti cars up here in the front also. It looks like that Team Conti paint is also on Dustin Hall.
Yep, I think this is Dustin Hall's first start for OB as well, because I don't recall the 01 machine last year. That is a clean-looking paint, though. Johan Seminari did a great job on that one.
We've got just about 10 laps left in this first heat, this first race here of the duels.
You're about to find out where everybody's loyalties lie here at this point, because this is it's getting to be that part where you're setting yourself up for that final push to the finish. This is where friendships are made and broken.
Yeah, exactly. Teammates are going to do their best, but you know what? Let's see who's got a dancing partner that's going to actually help them get across the line instead of trying to stab them in the back. Basically, let's see how that plays out.
That 10 machine, Paul Whitley hanging out here in the middle of this pack. He's been slowly creeping his way to the front here these past couple laps. You see him overtake the 5 of DeCiani. First start for him. Car looking pretty solid as he goes up here to the top line. Going to take a little bit here. Going to take a little bit of draft off the 3 machine, Luke Christian. Here comes the 99 as well. Thinking about coming up, Thomas George, but ducks back down to the bottom here. No run yet. And I like the new paint scheme on Luke Christian's machine too. Sticking with that black and orange theme that he had last year, with a little more contrast.
Yeah. The Bowen bootwear car, very, very good. I like that deep orange color it's got to it.
Yep.
We have a pit stop coming up here. Let's see. It would be the time to do it right before this dash to the finish.
Right now, what you see up at the front of the pack, Levine looks like he's missing the corner a little bit there through the, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What he's really doing there is allowing Benefield to have a little bit of space to breathe, a little bit air to the radiator of that Chevrolet behind him. Doesn't want to have another situation like you had with Paul Hill a couple laps ago where the engine gets thrown out into the track. So you see these guys already learning and adapting quick here.
They know what you
right now.
Well at this point.
Benefield, a little bit of damage to the nose there.
That's unfortunate. Benefield, yeah. After making his way all the way up there, up in 18 places, the hardest charger of the day so far.
Yeah, he gave Justin a little bit of a push there, and Netcode fought back on the 83 machine, and now you get to see the pug-nosed Chevrolet. Well, Chevrolet, because it's not a Camaro anymore, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That could make the overheating issue a little bit worse, though. In years past, a little bit of nose damage would really push those temps up quick, so he's going to have to be mindful of that here in the closing laps. Also got to be careful with the deformation of the bumper, too, potentially making it harder to get the bumpers to line up and send the guy in front of you around.
Yeah.
That's heavy damage.
Shape. Say that was heavy damage?
And here we go. The 99 machine. Tom Short's trying to lead the outside line here. Does Gallimore stay with the bottom, or does he move to the top?
Oh, he stays.
Thomas George, huge head of steam here. Levine going to throw a block on the 99. Cross the stripe. Levine going to hang on for now. Gallimore now giving a push back to the 83 machine of Benefield. Top line moving right now, and here comes George faking down to the bottom. He's going to try and take Levine here into 1 and 2.
Not bad. George with a good surge on his own, but he's going to fall back now to be side by side with second. Now with third, and that whole line, the bottom row, is having trouble.
And now Levine ducks back down to the bottom. He's going to get a huge shot here into 3 and 4 off the 99. And now Gitter and DiCiani leading a teammate Tango up here on the outside line, trying to fight for the lead. Out of turn 4, they're going to be clear of the 19 machine. Do they stay up top? For now, they do, as they pull the 1 machine of Nicholas Isaacs along with them. It's going to be a 3-car breakdown to the bottom. It's going to leave Luke Christian up top with the 10 machine. And Paul Whitley. Here comes Pascal now.
Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, that's a huge shove there. I always get nervous when we see that much momentum built up. That somebody's going to bumper hook at somebody.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's been clean so far.
Let's see if it does. Fingers crossed. But so far, yeah, like you said, we haven't seen anything like that happen. As Levine back up to the top line.
I'm glad he went with a high vis color this year. It really makes it stand out when he does stuff like that.
That's a good way to put it.
Going to be difficult for him, though. DiCiani and Patrick Gitter, they're putting together some real good pace here, working together. Thomas George going to come back up to the top line of the 99 machine, wanting to lead this charge, trying to get his first win in his first start here for the OB Builders Cup Series. May not be an official race, but it's something.
Hey, it's still going to count in our hearts. That's all that matters here.
And Levine all over the bumper, and a huge block from Gitter to the 99 here. Cross the stripe, take 3 laps to go. Patrick Gitter has the advantage.
flying. Patrick Kidder really making the most of the pushing that he's been getting this race so far.
Levine going to try and hang him out here.
Can he do it?
He does it. He's going to shuffle that 99 machine out. Now he's going to go to the top, try to get past Kidder, but he's going to get hung out to dry because Luke Christian's going to stay with him. And here comes Pasalakwa back to the rear bumper of the 19.
Pasalakwa's there. Luke Christian is there as well.
And a huge surge for Justin Levine. He's going to take us to the line here. 2 laps to go from Daytona.
Back down to the bottom now, trying to
Block off the run from the 21 machine, trying to regain control of both lanes. He's got it now. The outside line starting to stall. Here comes Gitter to the back bumper of the 21 machine and a huge push to the back of the 19. Up to the top now. Luke Christian going to try and hang out here. And look at the run that Thomas George got there. That car is just hauling in the draft. And a late block almost around for Levine, but it's going to work. Here comes Gitter, and he chops him again into 3 and 4.
Oh, my God. This is starting to get a little out of hand here, boys. Come on, reel it in.
Well, no time to now. It's go or go home. White flag in the air. The final lap for the Duels. At least for the first heat. Levine leading the charge through 1 and 2. Patrick Gitter all over the rear bumper. Thomas George getting a bunch of help on the bottom lane. Here comes Levine blocking off the 99 machine. Huge push there from Thomas George to the back of Levine. Down the back straightaway, Levine with the advantage. Here comes a little bit of help from Luke Christian on the top line to the back of Patrick Gitter. And Levine with a block, trying to hold off Gitter. Oh, and Gitter gets turned around off the nose of Luke Christian. Big crash into 3 and 4. Now it's going to be a drag race to the line. Multiple cars around, but right now Thomas George with the advantage. Here comes DeCiani ticking out, and a bunch of help from Nicholas Isaac as they touch doors, and around they go, but across the stripe it's DeCiani.
Wow. Wow, what a crazy finish. Kind of classic, but just about what we want to see here. Oh my God.
And what a way to finish Duel 1.
Yeah. You're telling me, man, that 4-car stack up right here, watch this. All this shuffling is so good to see.
See DeCiani tucks up last second there, hangs out the 99 machine of Thomas George. George throws a door at him, gives him a hip check. It turns the 5 around, but the 5 just had enough momentum. That help from Nicholas Isaacs really won this one for Matt DeCiani. Unfortunately, it looks like most of the field is going to need to go to backup cars for the 500.
All right, guys. Here comes grid number 2. Let's break down the even numbered cars. Try it again. Breaking it down from the top. Here we go, everybody. So, in grid number 2 here, we are going to have first place position is going to be Shane Davis, Jordan Slater, Chris Davis, PB Henry, Randy Mullins, William Deeney, Kevin Zosiak, Chris Vinson, Russell Black, and Luis C. Becerra in the top 10.
Rolling off the grid, and 11 is going to be the 22 machine of Bryce Rayner with Greg Carr to the outside in the 25. 13th is going to be Kyle Holden with Chris Hudson in the 43 machine, followed by Tim Wortman Jr., Carvin Ruff. 17th place is going to be Keith Long with Brian Johnson, Joseph Causey, Chris Crosby, and Chris Crosby running out the 20-car second grid.
All right, that's your 20-car second grid now. After this, we will have our starting lineups for Daytona figured out. We'll be figuring out who is the number 1 and 2 spots on the grid for Daytona. Be having a good look at that. It's going to be an exciting race next week, and well, this this race has already been any indication, it's going to be, it's going to be a damn good one. We're going to take a real quick commercial break here, though, folks. When we get back, this race is going to start. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll be back real fast. Hello, folks. We're back at the OB Builders Cup Series. Grading is underway here for heat number 2 of this Duels event.
We saw how exciting it was there for the first stint. It's going to be, I think it's going to be just as chaotic, maybe if not a little more. You know, it's how it always works out with the duels. First one of the two always goes completely clean. And then, well, in real life anyway, one of them is just an absolute slugfest. So we saw the first one with, aside from Paul Hill blowing an engine and, the white flag chaos, everything was clean and green. I got a feeling this might be the one where it's a little bit different.
That's right. Matt DeCiani won the first race by a nose, just barely, an at-the-line finish for Matt DeCiani, winning that race. It was very close, but it was you saw the energy of that last lap. And the energy of that last lap is what I anticipate we might have a little more of that tonight during this heat. I've got a feeling those guys, if they were watching or they were participating, following along with Grid Vision just to see how things were going or watching along in the game, then they saw that you can race this clean the whole way and then have it all blow up at the end, or you can get a little, you can take that opportunity to get a little more aggressive. And I don't know. We'll see who takes that bait.
And how about this? How about Shane Davis starting on the pole for the big show? Sitting in a 79 machine. Great way to start the outside pole, but on the front row at Daytona, that's always a good feeling when we come here to these super speedways. Just be able to start these things up front. All he's got to do is just get out here, get a little bit of practice time in for the big race, and that's the only thing he's got to worry about. Everybody else in this field, it's all about position. You got to charge. You got to try and win this thing here.
And that's right. The pole position award went to Shane Davis for this one, the Tate Crosby Racing Award. That's for Shane Davis in this race. In the last race, I believe it went to, was it Paul Gallimore?
That was Paul Gallimore.
Yep, there we go.
Parity on the front row. A lot of guys that really work hard.
Mm-hmm.
How about Jordan Slater starting up here on the outside row? Pretty sure this is his first start with the OB Builders Cup Series. It's going to be interesting to see what he brings to the table here this season.
You just love to see
Behind
it.
Randy Mullins, PB Henry, both returned customers. William Deeney, new face in the grid as well.
There goes the pace truck. It's off, which means we're about to get it on here at Daytona International Speedway. There's the green flag. We are go, go, go for heat number 2. Oh. Who's that?
Everybody making it through turns 1 and 2 here, clean and green. See Chris Davis returning to the racing surface here, missed the grid. Big checkup on the bottom lane though, starting with Russell Black and Kevin Zosiak. And your pole sitter opting to duck down here and go to the back of the field. Coming into 3 and 4, Shane Davis going to let off here. Out of turn 4, across the stripe, leader of lap 1, going to be the 92 machine of Jordan Slater.
That's right. Slater looking pretty good in the Eldorado car. He's leading a pack of 3 that's sitting ahead of the 2-wide situation. But as soon as we get back to that 4th place position, that's when you see Chris Vincent is currently battling it out with the number 12 of Louis Becerra. Ooh, very close there. Vincent moves up to the outside and almost takes the nose on Becerra, but there's just enough room. And now Becerra gives him a push, and the outside line is Vincent and Becerra.
Yeah, Chris Vincent trying to lead the charge here for Team Watson Racing. Up top right now, not enough help though. 12 Machine's trying, but he just doesn't have enough right now. Becerra giving it all he's got. You know, I'm looking here at the field right now, and I'm seeing a lot of these guys that I'm seeing out here fairly aggressive. So we got one car around in the back.
What was that?
Looks
Tim
like the
Wortman
4
Jr.
machine.
Let's see.
Brian Johnson got turned around there in the trioval. Just got high
Whoa.
there. Causey tried to thread the hole, and the 4 of Brian Johnson tried to block it back off, and quick spin. Luckily, no damage, but our first caution of the evening.
Hey, first caution of the evening in race number 2 at Daytona. Not bad so far.
You see the 28 machine of Tim Wortman Jr. get caught up in there. Good amount of nose damage to the 28 machine. Going to come down pit road here and fix it under the yellow.
Mm-hmm. Oof. You just hate to
But
see it.
there's just one of them classic Daytona incidents. You know, you go to make a move, you think better of it, try to come back down, and by the time you go to come back down and, you know, cover the spot you had a few seconds ago, it's already filled with somebody else. But right now, Slater, your race leader in that 92 machine.
Yeah, it's gone. The minute you abandon that spot, your momentum shifts. And if you don't respect that shift sometimes, you'll lose what you had just had. And that was exactly what happened there.
Grass is not always greener on the other side, but you go chasing the grass, you can find it pretty easy here at Daytona.
That's true. It is right there on the infield waiting for you. As we drive past what would be the bus stop if we were doing the road course right now. The Le Mans bus stop, Le Mans chicane.
It's the Ryan Priest bus stop.
Ryan Priest bus stop.
Speaking of which, I'm sure everybody here has watched it, but Ryan Priest, first NASCAR Cup Series win last night from Bowman Gray Stadium for the Clash.
Oh, congratulations to Ryan Priest. I heard that was a long race.
Oh, yeah. There was more laps under caution than there was under green.
Yeah,
Like they doubled I think they doubled the race length under caution. But that's
something like
what
that.
happens when it rains, and they don't count caution laps in the exhibition races for NASCAR. But it
Yeah.
was worth sitting there for an extra 2.5 hours to watch somebody that I think deserves a shot in the Cup Series and a win in the Cup Series more than probably 3/4 of the field. Get the job done finally.
Well said, sir. Well said.
And yeah, Roger Pierce calling it out. Yep, first driver to drop 20 F-bombs on Fox. Because they forgot to turn off the microphone when they got up to the car. They just didn't think better of it. And, well, he turned into... they turned into, well, basically what happens anytime an iRacer wins. There was a lot of swearing. And then he dropped the F-bomb right on national television. So, Ryan Preece, absolutely one of us.
You just love to see it. You just love to see it.
And I love seeing Roush cars run well again. And considering, I think, like the last 3 or 4 years, they didn't even make the big show for the Clash. They get the job done last night with Priest in the rain and in the dry all at the same time. Pretty cool stuff.
Well, someday we'll get sweet rain simulation here in the sim for oval racing, but I don't know if it'll benefit us at all. Obviously, it won't. We don't do much racing in the rain.
Well, we do have it for road racing, just not noble.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. Yeah, I would love for us to get it. It'd be pretty cool to race on a damp track at Martinsville. I mean, we wreck enough anyway. It's not like it's going to change anything, but having to chase grip and try different lines out that you wouldn't necessarily. Always like stuff that keeps us on the tips of our toes during a run. Well, I'm really happy that the dynamic track has roughly found its way back into play, and more big changes coming with that, as well as tire updates that we got with the latest patch. So I just love the lines moving and having to try different things every other lap, searching for grip.
And these guys haven't had a grip. I haven't seen any grip problems yet this evening necessarily. Only 30 laps in. You don't need a new set of tires probably. So grip will be probably the last thing on these guys' minds. What do you think the first thing is on the mind of one of these drivers right here going through one of these heat races?
What's the normal key to the race when we come to these super speedways? Don't die.
Don't die. I was gonna say it's either find a dance partner or don't die. It's one of the two. Oh, and here's a little bit of good luck. Track temp and air temp are both the same. 69 degrees.
Nice.
Nice. And on way down the back stretch they go. With the lights off on the pace truck. You know what that means, folks.
Well, we got a moment here before we get ready to go back green. I see we got plenty of interaction in the chat here tonight. Who's everybody's favorite driver going into this season? Who are we pulling for this year?
See your favorite driver there as we get ready to go into the BK Designs green flag restart zone. Coming up here fast at Daytona.
And the 20-car field working through 3 and 4 here. The final time, lights out on the iRacing pace truck as the unbranded Chevrolet Silverado gets ready to peek down pit road. Field in the hands of the 92 machine of Jordan Slater and PB Henry up top in the 25 into the BK Designs restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are back underway here at Daytona.
There we go. The 92, Jordan Slater with a pretty good launch, but he's followed very, very closely there by PB Henry and William Deeney.
A pair of rookies working the bottom line here. Deeney getting up to the back bumper here through 1 and 2, trying to push that 92 machine of Jordan Slater. Outside line starting to stall out here. PB Henry hoping for a little bit more help from Chris Vincent. The momentum is just not there. Louis Bezzero now tucking up to the back of the 33 machine, trying to move them forward. And here comes the outside line with a charge into 3.
Let's look at that charge and see if they can find the momentum they need as a team here on the outside line. There's a, he's getting a hell of a push right now from the 33 of Chris Vincent.
I could say one thing, having raced with both of those guys up there on that top line right now, those are two of your more aggressive drivers anywhere we go. Chris Vincent and PB Henry, they're going to get everything they can get out of the car. We got one machine tucking back up there to the top. Russell Black in the 44. Came in a little bit late into the season last year, puts together some really good runs here in the OB Builders Cup Series. It's going to be interesting to see what he's able to do with a full year to get his feet under him. And a huge run for Russell Black here through 3 and 4. Gets a little squirrely there, though. PB Henry not letting him go anywhere through the corner. Big wiggle. Here comes the 54 machine of Randy Mullins trying to take the lead up there on the outside line.
Yes,
and a
sir.
huge surge of momentum into 1 and 2.
He's getting a surge right now. A little push from behind. Mullins is getting some help from Russell Black, and Russell Black is getting his help from PB Henry.
Down the back straightaway, Randy Mullins with the advantage right now. All the help in the world come from the 64 machine, but here comes the inside surging back. Here comes Slater taking the lead back over into 3. Now to 4. They're going to try and break away here on the bottom line. And it looks like it's working because across the stripe for lap 10, it is going to be Slater with the advantage.
Slater's got the advantage. He's looking good. Sitting up there. William Genie in second. Kevin Zosiak in third comfortably.
It's right here. This is what I was talking about earlier. It being car and driver dependent. We saw how racy that outside line was that entire first heat. And it seems like we just got a little bit of a lull here right now. You see PB Henry now trying to hang him out to dry. Chris Vincent tries to go with him, but not enough momentum there. I don't think these guys really have what they need to make this top line work as far as pace goes right now. They're trying. Just got to get the right cars lined up to make it really surge.
Listen, they are trying hard. But I think what's going to happen sooner than, the 54 making its way up to the front is, all I have to say is something's not going to happen. And it looks like it gets a pretty good shot at happening here. But if the 54 could get someone could just move in front of it. Like if the 43 right there of Chris Hudson could just slide over and just steal some momentum off the top, that would end the whole push from the top line. It feels so delicately put together as we have cars making a third line now in the top.
The 3 wide at Daytona never hurt anybody. Yeah, sitting there right now, 7th place. Everybody's favorite underdog. Drive that 43 machine, Chris Hudson. Always does pretty well here on the super speedways. Exceptional on the road courses, though, as we see that outside line trying to surge. Causey trying to push the 33 machine to Chris Vincent, but just not enough pace up there right now. Three wide is just still really difficult to make work here in this next gen car.
That 3 wide situation now. Still holding on here at the back of the pack. Wonder where this came from, where this motivation for this 3 wide situation came from. Was it just a matter of getting clean air?
No,
was
it's
it
just,
places?
they just don't want to ride around. They want to see if they can make it work.
You got it.
Well,
it's ambitious, man.
You can get up there and jump a couple spots. But I'm also looking at the guys that are leading the charge up there too, though. And I mean, it's PB Henry, it's Causey, another car ducking up at the top, Bryce Rayner, and that's going to be a huge surge. And around goes Russell Black, huge crash.
And the yellow is out yet again here as we cross through lap 13. The yellow is out again, and that one scooped up just about a little less than 50% of the field. Take a little look-see in the Wayback Machine. Oh, there he goes.
And what happened there? It was basically just dominoes. 12 machine of Louis Bazera was all over the back bumper. Russell Black got a little misaligned, low disjoint. You see how big of a push he's going to take right here. He gets into the back of Mullins, and all that momentum has nowhere to go, and just sends that machine right around.
Yikes.
You can push. You can push the pusher, but it gets dicey if you're just a little too rough with it. And that's just what we saw there. And it's a very fine line between what works and what doesn't. As we see the new A-pillar flaps light up on the 64 machine there, keeping him virtually on the ground.
Yeah. And now here we are.
Your second caution flag of the night here, just shy of halfway, and well, I guess as far as predictions, I'm batting 1,000 right now, ain't I?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. What was you were going for? Was Slater your pick?
I said no. I said number 1 was going to be great, calm one, and number 2 was going to be a bit more chaotic, and it looks like I'm right in the ballpark.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You hit that right on the head.
We do have somebody in the chat saying we should have looked at that through Chris Davis's POV.
Ooh, we should.
That'd be an interesting perspective. At on board here with Chris Davis. It's probably going to be a jump scare. I feel like it's going to be a jump scare, right?
Yeah. Ah,
oh my. Wreck avoidance level 2000 if he makes it stick here. Look at that. Great piece of driving out of the driver of the 74 machine there.
You love to see driving like that. When you stay on the track after everything goes to hell in front of you.
I think that was the Haynes skid mark of the race.
Yeah. Code Brown. Freaky stuff. But you know what? The right brain, the right reaction, steady handle on the till, and you're going to get through it. That's exactly what happened. And a little bit of luck. A little bit of luck goes a long way in a big wreck situation. Sometimes it does amount to being in the right place at the wrong time.
How about this? This field right now being led by 2 drivers in their first start here for the OB Builders Cup Series. Slater and Dini have been working really well together here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to seal the deal. Just 15 more laps to go once we take the green flag. No, a little bit more. I just realized the light's still on the pace car.
And we shall see how things get going here. You got what, 1-2 more laps before we got to start? Something like that. I think 1 more lap.
Yeah, it's gonna be lights out lap here. Everybody's going to line up.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Here comes that lineup.
What a great night of racing it's been so far, and what a great way to kickstart 2026 season.
It's been very exciting. A game of contrasts tonight. Based on your predictions, absolutely. We've had calm and we've had chaos.
That's just a weekend at Daytona, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think it beats a weekend at Bernie's. At least I'm going to agree with our producer on that one.
Significantly less rigor mortis, though.
Significantly, yes, that is true.
And I imagine Weekend at Bernie's probably actually had a smell to it.
Yeah.
Smells great here, though, the virtual Florida air. We will have smell-o-vision in 2027, by the way, so we can make
Awesome.
y'all's rooms smell like whatever we want.
Yes. House might catch fire. Small liability things, but we'll work out the kinks later.
That's why you have. That's why the website has a terms of service agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to smell of gasoline pumped in on command while we cover these things. I mean, there's only one way to get that to work now, isn't there?
That's true. 16 out of 30. There goes the pace truck. We're going to get things kicked off here. Looking for that BK restart zone. Excuse me. I want to make sure I get the initials right. BK Designs restart zone, and there we go.
Later with the advantage right now, trying to get a little bit of help from the 37 machine of Zodiac. Haven't talked much about Zodiac tonight, but he's been up here in the mix since we dropped the green flag, and look who's peeking into the picture as well. Chris Hudson starting to try and make his presence known.
Here we are in the back stretch for the first time since the restart. Let's see if everybody can hold it steady all the way through. And then through 3 and 4, we'll get a whole lap done. See if we can continue through from 17 to 30.
William Dini getting a lot of help from behind from the 25 machine of Greg Carp, but they have one machine blinking behind them. That appears to be the 22 of Bryce Rayner. Looks like it's picking back up for him, but that's really going to make it difficult if that problem persists.
A little bit of trading places going on here. Yep, the top line. Looks like our friend Brian Johnson just slid up from the bottom to it. Chris Hudson
Brian
in the H&M 43, still down there on the inside, unable to join him up there.
And a huge shove from 2 cars back to the rear bumper of Brian Johnson, going to give him the lead into turn 3 as he fades down to the bottom, trying to pull the 82 machine of William Dini along with him. They're going to leave the 25 machine of car out to dry. But up at the front of the pack now, the 4, Brian Johnson. Now can he hold it down for another 12 laps?
Can he do it? 12 laps to go. That seems like not a lot, but it's going to be an eternity for these drivers.
Johnson just trying to keep that bottom lane logged down now. Get this thing around here for a handful more laps. Getting a huge shove from the 82 machine behind him. Top line not building the momentum right now. Going to take them a couple laps to reform. They're probably going to get another car or 2 up there to really find the pace they need. Just going to be the first one to tuck out and try to make something happen.
Let's see.
Oh, there he is. 74 machine. Chris Davis comes up to the top. He's going to pull the 54 Mullins with him, and up to the front of it now, it's going to be Chris Hudson in the 43.
Yeah, I saw that. Chris Hudson in that P51
big side
livery.
draft there. In the 71.
Long says, watch out.
And look at how much that stalled that top line out. That side draft from 71 to Keith Long really pumped the brakes on the momentum they had up there.
Now let's see how things go getting to the end of this race, folks. Just 10 laps left. Thank you for sticking with us through this race, folks. If you're still watching, we really appreciate having you. And we hope that you're enjoying the action here on the OB Builders Cup Series Heat 2 right now out of Daytona International Speedway on this Duels series.
At the top line being charged by Bryce Rayner and Shane Davis. Shane Davis, your pole sitter for this heat. Fell all the way to the back early to pick up Chris. And now all these cars working together here. And it's getting aggressive.
Aggression is going to be kind of the name of the game for the next couple of laps here. You're going to want to play a little aggressively. You're going to want to drive a little bit heavy-footed. You're going to want to just create space if it can be made unless you are just a pure opportunist. Now, if you are a pure opportunist, you get to stick with someone who's doing all the aforementioned things there. So find someone who's doing them, stick with them, and wait till you see what happens when we get closer to the line.
At this point, less than 10 laps to go at Daytona. You got blinders on, you got the foot to the floor. You ain't lifting for anything from here on out. And hung out to dry, the 71 machine, Keith Long. It's left out there by Bryce Rayner. Rayner's really trying to get up here to the front of this pack.
Oh, can you do it, Rayner?
Davis is giving him a great shot here through 3 and 4. I think they've got the momentum to take the lead here into 1.
Can he do it? Oh, here he comes. That
There
EMR
it is.
Event Park car. Bryce Reiner is leading the race right now.
And I know Shane Davis has got to be cooking the temps on that 79 machine, but he ain't lifting for nothing. They're going to get the bottom here. Can they get all 3 cars clear? Yes, they do, but Shane Davis tucks out. He's going back up to the top. He wants to try and lead this thing. And Chris is going to follow with him. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize Shane's still a lap down. Chris is trying to push him back up onto the lead lap here. Let's go throw a curveball here. Now the top line being charged by Greg Carr and Tim Wortman Jr. They try to make some kind of leeway here.
Let's see what they can do.
Carr's going to leave Wortman out to dry here, though. Ducks back down to the bottom. And the driver that led the most laps in this thing, Jordan Slater, currently locked back into P9.
Oof. Yeah, having led so many laps now, Slater is definitely back a little ways, down 6 from where he started. Hardest charger right now is Brian Johnson in 5th place. He's up 13 places from where he started.
And remember, Brian Johnson also got turned around early in the race. Caught a little bit of damage to the door, came down pit road, got it fixed. Showing why you never give up, especially here at the super speedways.
It could happen to you, friends. It could happen to you. You got to stick it out.
And a huge shot there to the back of Rayner from the Fit 92 machine of Jordan Slater.
The single file situation on the inside line is benefiting everyone down there right now.
Leading us to the stripe here, the 74 machine of Chris Davis. 5 laps to go for the second heat of the duels. Rayner's trying to make something happen. He just needs a little bit more help. Needs to break up those cars on the bottom a little bit.
Oh, wow, they're very close right now. Hudson.
I'm really surprised that Mullins didn't try to tuck out there. Top line getting broke up here. Maybe a little bit of overheating for the 92 machine of Jordan Slater as we come through 3 and 4. He's been heavy on the rear bumper the past couple laps.
He really has been. Slater has been unrelenting on the bumper of Reiner there. He's just been not willing to give up the ghost. He wants to be the pusher. He wants to also be the reason that the outside line makes that speed up. And he can do it too, but he's going to have to sacrifice his own temperatures to do so. And I'm not sure he's, based on how he's been driving, I'm not really sure he's willing to make that sacrifice.
And you saw Slater have to back off again there. I just think he's getting real close there. Those gauges start screaming at you in red, it'll scare you pretty quick.
At the line.
Stripe. 3 more laps to go. Chris Davis still your race leader. Here comes Rayner, though, with a lot of help from Slater. Be neck and neck here through 1 and 2.
neck and neck for 1 and 2 is exactly right. And right now, this duel is exactly that. It is a duel. Side by side, turn around, 10 paces, turn and fire. It's exactly that.
Cars these guys have been pushing out. I don't know if we'll make it around another lap. Let alone 2. Across the stripe here, 2 laps to go. Bryce Rayner versus Chris Davis. Is it going to be one of these two to get the job done, or somebody else going to find their way out here in the closing laps? Bryce Rayner with a huge advantage, though. And he's got a buffer car there with that 79 machine. If he can get down to the bottom, he can really control this race. A lot of help from Jordan Slater. Slater going to tuck down with him. The top line hung out to dry for now. Now a huge block from Rayner. Comes back up to the top to hold off the 28 machine of Tim Wortman Jr. So he worked down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the next to last time.
Oh, another big cycle back down now. It is a back and forth game. Again, we saw a little bit of this in the earlier race, but not nearly as dramatic, not nearly as often as we're seeing it here, with blocking of the top lane being done almost instantly.
Across the stripe that time. White flag. 1 lap to go here at Daytona. Who's going to start where for the big show? See Chris Davis now trying to work the top line. Wants to get back up to the front. Randy Mullins coming up to cover. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Slater staying in line with the 22 machine of Rayner. Huge pushes from behind from the 92. These two have been locked together for multiple laps here. Is he going to try and make a break for it? Yes, he does. He goes to the top, tries to pull a side draft.
Oh!
And one car around. Chris Hudson head on into the fence. Big crash out of 4. But across the line, with all the momentum right now, it's going to be the 92 machine of Jordan Slater. They come to the stripe, surging back, and it's going to be by a nose. And I think Slater got it.
I think so too, my man. I'm pretty sure that was Jordan Slater's race.
Yes, it was, and by an even closer margin. You see him go to the top here through 3 and 4 as the wreck happens behind. Pulls a little bit of side draft, breaks up those 2 on the bottom. Mullins gets back to the rear bumper of Rayner to try and push him to the front. And at the stripe, it's going to be by just not even a nose, maybe by the splitter itself.
Not
Look at this. I think this is one of the
all.
closest finishes we've had on Grid Vision. What was the interval?
Oof. Oh, I don't have the interval. But wow, what a finish there. So we had in the first race, I believe it was Matt DeCiani won the first race, and then it was in the second race here. It was my brain just blanked. I can't believe it. Who won the second race? Help me, Sheldon. I was just going back in time.
By
Jordan Slater,
1,000ths.
Yes, by 2 1,000ths. Insanity. Jordan Slater, Matt DeCiani, winners both tonight here.
And congratulations, Jordan Slater, too, getting the job done in like I said, the first start here for the OB Builders Cup Series for him. That was impressive. And started this thing up at the front, led a majority of the race, fell back in the field. And those closing laps just set himself up perfectly. So that's definitely going to be one you want to watch when we come back here.
Excellent. And how about we see if we can, maybe we can talk to, I don't see DeCiani available right now, but maybe we could talk to Jordan Slater.
Yeah, we get Jordan up here.
See what he has to say here. All right, here we go. Hey, Jordan, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing really good here. Congratulations on that win, my man. How you doing after that?
Oh, good. It's been a while since I've been in the car, so that's even if it's a duel, it's a good feeling. Happy to nick it out in time. Yeah.
And how long has it been?
Oh, probably most of the winter actually. I know we're only in February, but just looking forward to getting the season started and kind of getting back in the groove. So.
Yes, my man. But you're going to be in the groove. Sounds like you're going to be number
Yeah.
2 next week. Is that a good spot for you? Or I mean, obviously Daytona seems to work for you pretty well.
Yeah. It's talk about going like 1 for 1, right? It's a good start. Looking forward to it. I like Daytona. glad real NASCAR's starting. You know, you get the excitement and everything like that. So it's good.
That's right. That's right. And we've got Daytona next. We've got Daytona next week. You guys, you're on a. Are you on a team? I'm sorry if I haven't asked you this before. Are you on a?
Oh no, you're
You're on
fine.
a.
Yeah, I'm on Beast Mode Performance with some guys. They've been good friends of mine for a while. Getting my first crack at this OB Builders Cup Series, and just gonna try and have fun and learn and get better.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what we like to hear, my man. Well, we've got Daytona first thing next week, and then after that, we've got on my birthday, we got Echo Park at Atlanta. Are you looking forward to switching tracks then?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if we if we have a little bit of magic like this on some super speedways, I know that's a completely different animal, you know, 1.5, but we know that Atlanta will bring some excitement. So if we can keep this car going as fast as it was tonight, we'll be happy.
You got it, my man. Well, thank you very much for your time. And anyone else you want to shout out to or thank for your drive?
Oh yeah, I guess like I said, my teammates at Beast Mode Performance got some good pushes there at the end, and I want to say a quick shout out. I'm a new dad as of 2 days ago, so I got away real quick, and yeah, so this is it's a good little gift. It's gonna be fun.
Congratulations,
Perfect time
man.
Yeah, congratulations. Perfect time to start a racing season is right when you've got a fresh bundle of joy at home.
Yeah, got away real quick, and we'll go get some diapers changed and call it good.
Love it, my man. Hey, congratulations to you on that aspect and on your race tonight. And we look forward to hopefully talking to you up here real soon, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for what you guys do too. We'll be looking forward to the season.
All right. Hey, it's my pleasure. We're going to pass you back down to the BMP group there in Discord, and we will talk to you later.
Yeah, sounds good. God bless, guys.
All right, here we go. And as you can see here, another race has started. It's like a third heat.
Over.
This could be like a for fun 10-lap race here. What do you think? What do you think is going on here?
Honestly, I am not sure. This is just 30-minute feature, 10 laps.
Love it, love it. Well, the official stuff is over as of.
Oh man, no, I'm good.
As of then, yeah. Let's talk to some more. Let's see if we got other winners though available here, who we can talk to. Now, normally, we will reward the fastest lap of the race here on the OB Builders Cup Series. With the fastest lap of the race, we'll highlight who was able to get around each one of these beautiful tracks with the absolute most speed possible. So that's something to look forward to here, folks, especially starting next week with Daytona. We're going to have just a little bit of extra information here during the results phase of the racing. And I want you folks to be able to anticipate some of the good stuff that we got coming up as we try to put together, as we're trying to wrap up tonight's broadcast with maybe just one more interview if we can squeeze it in. Who's the first race would have been Matt DeCiani, but I do not see him available right now.
Yeah, I think DeCiani decided to go get himself a quick nap.
That's okay. And the only other person I would think of is maybe the pole position sitter, Brandon Pasalacqua. He's down there. We could talk to him if we wanted to. Let's pull him up. Let's talk to Brandon Pasalacqua and see if we can get him into our channel here. All right. I am having some trouble. Darby, a producer, if you could help me out. My screen is not big enough.
Oh, you said pole sitter?
That's all right. Why don't we go ahead and start wrapping things up here, folks, for this broadcast. What we want to thank again, congratulate again our winners. We had 2 winners tonight, so things were very interesting there. We had Matt DeCiani and we had Jordan Slater. the winners for tonight's 2 heat races here, and we're gonna go ahead and let's bring it all home. So from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and for participating in the chat. Especially, we had great participation in the chat tonight, folks. It was great to see everybody shouting out here. So please bring that heat every week. We love hearing from you and interacting with you guys. For more information on getting your own league broadcast or supported by gridvision.live, hit us up on Facebook, Discord, or info@gridvision.live. And a big thanks goes out to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash SimCams, who provided the beautiful cameras that we use on all of Grid Vision's broadcasts here. And congratulations one more time, Matt DeCiani, Jordan Slater, on winning tonight's race from Daytona International Speedway. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.